What's up, my deck night bourbon fans? I'm sitting on the deck hearing the remnants of Hurricane Helene. Hopefully the wind isn't blowing too hard, but I'm tucked away in my little corner, and hopefully this is not just a big wind fest. Amy and I just recently got back from Louisville, and while we were there, we stopped in at Justin's House of Bourbon to give y'all a shot of what they carried on their shelf. This is going to be a quick rundown of Justin's House of Bourbon's last week's selection of available stuff that they had on their shelf. I did the old format of just filming in real time, and of course, as I'm watching it, I'm moving too fast. So I'm going to throw a little bit of pause, still stop scenes in here, and maybe a little slow motion on with the editing software and see how it goes. Hopefully this isn't too horrible. You guys get a good look at what they have in Louisville's Justin's House of Bourbon. They don't keep their price on the shelves. They stick them on the bottle, so we don't really have a great view of all the prices. It is what it is. Hope y'all enjoy. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the bell. And if y'all like what we do and want to see extra stuff that we don't have out for everybody, hit that join button. And we appreciate all you guys that follow Deck Night on the Rocks. You guys are the best. All right, enjoy. All right, y'all, starting out this video with some Four Gates. We've never had Four Gate. The price of those bottles are so high, I just never really got one. Tell me what y'all think about it. Bushwood, I love it, the Caddyshack theme, but never had it. Old Louisville, Dave and I just had a shot for their store pick here last time we went. It was pretty good, but I don't. That's not worth $150 to me. All right, here we go with some Nulu's. These are some of their private barrel picks for the store. Nulu, Town Branch. I hate Town Branch. I've heard a lot of greens about the Walthons. I've had the regular Walthons, and some other guys bought the Walthons while we were there, and they said it was awesome. Buzzard Druce, no thank you. There's that Walthon's barrel pick again. Town Branch barrel pick. It's the same stuff from the shelf above it. No thank you. Buzzard Druce, guys. Someone's going to have to convince me otherwise, but it is not good. I heard they're sourcing and they're really trying to make things better, but no thank you. Willet, pot still. Y'all know how I feel. There's the finger pointing out. Gross. I don't know what Old Bourbon Country is. Never Say Die. Kind of gimmicky sounding. It's a cool bottle on this one. I can't read the name. Prairie Hill Club whiskey. The stuff I've had has been good. I like the cigar blend, so it's good stuff. Moving way too fast, even on 50% slow-mo. There's the old Smoke Wagons, guys. If you haven't tried Smoke Wagon, please do. It's a little intense, but I like it, and Smoke Wagon Aaron's awesome. Okay, moving on down here to the Benchmark, guys. Benchmark's a great Buffalo Trace juice, and it's like 20-something bucks no matter what brand expression it is. So if you haven't had it, give it a shot. Some other brands I've never heard of. Milan and Green's a Texas bourbon. I never had it. King's Family Distillery from New York. I've heard good things, but no thank you. I haven't tried. I don't like any New York bourbon I've had. I haven't liked, so I'm just gonna pass on that. All right, here we go with some rabbit holes. This is standard rabbit hole fare that they always have around anywhere you go. Rabbit hole stuff I like. It's pretty good. Now here's some special Peerless stuff. The double oak, the rum finished, and the high rye. Those were interesting, but when I leaned up here and looked at these prices of 119, 139, guys, I'm sure it's good. I really like the Peerless I've had, and I've heard great things, but I'm just not interested in spending that much money for a bourbon I've never tried, even though I have a lot of faith in Peerless and what they make. All right, moving on here to the Old Forester. This is their standard stuff, the standard whiskey row stuff. It's good stuff. If you guys haven't had it, you should give it a shot if you see it on the shelves. It's good price and good flavor. The Penelope stuff I haven't too much of, but I've heard a lot of great things, so give it a shot. Blue Run I like, but their prices are extremely high, so you got to take your own chances with that. Bardstown, everything I've had is good. Buzzard Roost, please give it a try and make your own choices, but man, I am not a fan. I have yet to have anything I like. They're very encouraging people. They try hard, and their little bar on Whiskey Row is cool. And I heard it's got a lot better. It's been a year since I've been there. And you guys got to try that Arctic Celsius brand bourbon. I'm joking. That's just a can of crap someone left out. Never had the Doc Swinson's. I've got a bottle, but I haven't opened it yet. Clyde Mays is another one I haven't had, and I've heard hit or miss both ways about it. Jefferson's Oceans and Jefferson's brand I've had a lot of, and it is not good. I don't like it, and you're never going to convince me otherwise, I don't think. Horse Soldier, cool idea. I've never had it. We own some. We gave some away, but I don't know anything about it. Woodford, yeah, just roll on by because it's It's a big name, but I don't think it's that good besides Double Oaked. Wilderness Trail, I love the company. It's good stuff. If you haven't had it, give it a try. Here's a standard Heaven Hill bottled in bond, which about 2 years ago was extremely hard to find, but now it is something of a regular available bottle on the shelf. So that's good to see because it's a pretty decent bourbon for about $55. Next, we got the JTS Brown bottle, which is named after John Thompson Street Brown Sr., along with his half brother George Brown. They started the wholesale liquor business called Brown Forman Corporation, who you all know as the owner of Old Forester and Jack Daniels. So that's where this gets its name, but is currently owned by Heaven Hill. So it's just a low-priced bourbon from Heaven Hill Company that's playing on a name of an old fella that started a lot of this stuff. So if you haven't tried it, give it a try. I've only had it 1 or 2 times, and I tell you, I didn't care for it. So make your own opinion, give it a try, and see what y'all think. Next, we got the JW Dant bottle, which I've heard a lot of things about lately. A lot of people talking about we should give this one a try. For $15, it may not be a waste of money, but who knows? Usually, bourbon that cheap isn't the best in the world, but it's a bottle and bond. It's made by Heaven Hill, and the history to this thing is it was started by Joseph Washington Dant, a Kentucky distiller in the 1830s, allegedly fashioned this still out of a hollowed-out trunk tree. Sounds like horseshit to me, but you never know. We weren't there. And then his kids took over. Eventually, went through a bunch of different companies and was bought out by Heaven Hill in 1993. So that's the story about J.W. Dant. And if anybody's ever had that, let me know. Tell me what you think, if it's any good or not. All right, moving on again. Here we got the Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. It's a pretty good bourbon for 19 to 29 bucks. It's worth getting. Never heard of that light blue bourbon. And then here's this Bottle and Bond Hazelbaker, which I've been seeing a lot lately. And its story is that it is family name behind Prohibition Craft Spirits, the makers of Nulu whiskey. So that's where that comes from. And I just started seeing it pop up, and I've never tried it. It looks interesting, maybe because the Hazelbaker. I don't know. That's a high rye mash bill. It's bottled 100 proof. It's a Bottle and Bond. So I'm interested in trying this. If anybody's had it, let me know what you guys think about it. Here's a couple of favorites of mine. Four Roses. You know, I love the Four Roses. Those aren't the single barrel selects or those small batch select, but I really like them. Next up is the Willet products. I have not yet to have a Willet product I've liked. Granted, I have had all of them, but these ones that I have had, I am not a fan of. So, sorry, Willet fans, I have nothing good to say about them. Next up is some Jephthah Creed. We have had it, but we're not a fan of what we've had, but we're not wanting to give up on it yet. They have a cool facility. We really want to go check them out and give them a second chance. Next up is a Davis County bourbon. It's an historical bourbon that was reopened by Lux Row recently, so we've never had it, and we need to check it out and see. Now, here we got some Walthans moving into that. I've heard a lot of good things. We tried it once, but it's California bourbon. I just haven't got into it. Heaven's Door, not a fan. Pursuit United. We have one. It was decent, and we've been hearing a lot of good things about a lot of their different choices, so maybe give it a try. Heard wonderful things about K. Luke and haven't had it yet. That's why I zoomed in on it. So if you see it, give it a shot. Let us know. Calumets, we've owned a bottle, and we've given it away. We tried a tasting it with them one time and we weren't satisfied, so we had to give it another shot. Michter's, good juice. I don't like their experience, but good juice. Green River, guys, got to get up to Owensboro and check them out. I like it. Amy's not a fan, but I've liked everything I've had. Lucky 7, not fortunate to have had one yet, but I've heard mixed bags. 2XO, big fan of what we've had. Some of those stuff can be expensive, but I'm really interested in trying it. Angel's Envy, I'm a fan for what it is. Never had the Pinhook, and if someone has it, I'll try it. Never had Stellum, same thing. Knew what I've had was okay. I think that was Woodinville. I've heard good things, but it's an Oregon bourbon, and I'll get to it one day. Chicken cock. Gotta have that big fat cock in there. It's a very expensive whiskey, and I've never tried it, so one day I should. Here's on into the wild turkey world. You know we all love the rare breed, both of them, the bourbon and the rye. Russell stuff I like. Amy's not still big on the Russells. Wild Turkey 101's a classic. Can't beat it. Knob Creek Rye is good. Basil Hayden's good for $80. Maker's Mark. Not a fan, but if you can get your hands on one of our barrel picks, you'll like it. All right. Nashville Barrel, I want to try. I need to get one. Just haven't got one yet. Just don't have room for buying bourbons that I'm just not ready to open. That Bardstown right there, I've been told by a few people to get it, but it's a Willet product, and every time I touch it, I'm scared of it. Ben Holiday, you can't never go wrong with Ben Holiday. Old Granddad is okay for the price. Don't let people lie to you. It's not freaking amazing. At least I don't think it is, and I've tried it a couple times. Now here's Justin's House of Bourbons, Old Dusty's. I don't think these are for sale. I could be wrong. Well, there's a price tag on that Blood Oath up there. So I guess these aren't just old dusty. Some of these are just really expensive bourbons or hard to get bourbons, whiskeys, and or maybe some of their museum pieces. I don't know. I just know that I can't afford them, and I don't have any interest in buying any of these things for outrageous, astronomical prices. They do have some cool stuff there, all those Colonel Taylor barrel proofs. I'm sure some people would love to have those. But I don't see a price. Here's all their pappies. Again, I don't see a price, but they do play secondary, so I wouldn't imagine that they're anything worth buying or anywhere near retail price. There's some old Elmer T. Lees. These are old Dusties. I'm sure they're for sale, but again, don't know. There's some Ancient Age 8-year. There's some of the new, I don't know if it's new, some Bardstown. The BTAC stuff, it's super expensive, all the multiple years and batches. Something again that I'm never going to own. I hope you guys can have one day, but I'm not going to. Good news is that Buffalo Trace has just released their information on their BTAC series, and they will be releasing all 5 of the BTACs this year. So you won't be missing out on George T. Stagg this time, so it's available. There's some Blanton's Gold, some Weller Special Single Barrel, Sazerac Rye, gross. Frank Sinatra's, had better. Four Roses, guys, a whole bunch of different kinds. Special stuff, special releases. Really a big fan of Four Roses. I don't know what Amy's pointing at. Oh, that box, Angel's Envy. That's a cool box, yeah. Ooh, Kentucky Owl. Let's get it. No, thank you. Don't know what we're looking at. It's very old Fitzgerald. Old Fitzgerald. This is their old Fitzgerald side. There's some old Granddad and the little swingy cradle. These guys are really cool. There's some OFC, Old Fine Copper, or whatever that C stands for. There's some cool things, cool stuff. That's just historical Dusties. Other bottles they got for sale up there. Just running by it real fast. Those Parker Heritage, those Old Forester. That's the Heaven Hill side. Here's the Wild Turkey side. There's some Bookers up there. You know, a lot of these things we'd all love to have and taste, some of these old Dusties. And it's just, I mean, unless you're going to drop thousands of dollars or get lucky and find one, it'd be nice. There's some old birthday bourbon, something I'm probably never going to get. Michter's. Age stated, very expensive stuff. You know, the friend of mine has a 70s bottle of Maker's Mark, and he won't sell it to me. I'm going to start pushing him. Of course, he says he doesn't know where it's at. It's somewhere in his house, but he's stubborn. Maybe one day I'll get it from him. Wouldn't mind having me an old Dusty, especially one older than me. Alright guys, that's Justin's House of Bourbon. Here's their bar. They always got a good selection of old Dusties and the hard to get ones these days. But we enjoyed doing this video for you. I hope you guys like what we've done. Like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the bell. Make sure those notifications are set. We're going to be doing some live streams soon. Going to be giving away some awesome bottles, hard to get bottles, well-liked bottles. So make sure you have that notification set so you get notified to see when we pop up on our live so you can join us, have fun, and get a chance to win some free cool bottles. All right, like I said before, we appreciate all of our fans. We appreciate all of our bourbon watchers. Like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the bell. Thank you all. See you next time. Keep sipping.